Hi, my name is Tori Williams, and this is my testimony regarding my battle with cancer. I was diagnosed with cancer in 2012. I was diagnosed with ovarian cancer. And even though it was ovarian cancer, it was actually a different type of ovarian cancer. It was called granulosa cell tumor cancer. During that same year, my son, who was a senior in high school, was playing basketball and doing his thing or whatever. And prior to that, I took in two other children prior to finding out that I was diagnosed with cancer. I couldn't believe that I was responsible for 5 kids. And after being diagnosed, everything just kind of I hit rock bottom. I lost my job. I couldn't afford to pay rent. I could barely afford to feed the kids and things of that nature. I couldn't even provide anything for them, but I actually lost faith in God. That's when I really lost faith. Because I felt like, God, I took in 2 extra kids and gave them a place to live. And here I am, with cancer, stuck with cancer. I remember praying and saying to God, God, what am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do? I have cancer. I don't know what to do. Then I recall after praying that night, the kids came into my room, all 5 of them, and some was crying, some had their heads down, and they looked really, really sad. I wasn't sure, what was on their mind. So they started to say to me, Ma, you're giving up. We can't afford for you to give up. You have to fight this fight. We're going to be there for you, but you have to fight this fight too. You have to want to fight this fight. They were crying. And as they were crying, I felt a little guilty because at first I didn't have any remorse, because I didn't care, because I got stuck with this disease that was rare and nobody really knew how to treat it. So I gave them a hug and they all walked out of the room. And that night I cried. I cried myself to sleep, but I believe that was the message that God has sent me, that I have to continue to fight. And that's what I started to do. And that's when I started to, my grandmother always said that, all you have to have is a mustard seed of faith. And I believe that changed a lot of things for me. I have been on chemo a few times. I had 9 surgeries, and I'm presently on 2 types of hormonal treatments for the cancer that I have. It has lots of side effects, and I presently have 4 tumors on my liver. Sometimes I have good days, and sometimes I have bad days, but on the good days, I'm in the community. I'm an honorary member of Men Stand Up Against Violence, working alongside my Uncle Fred and my dad, who are the founders and co-founders of that organization. And so I help out as much as I can because it gives me something to do. But on my bad days, I do nothing. I'm in the bed, I'm asleep, whatever it is, with my feet kicked up. That's just how it is when you have cancer. You have good days and you have bad days. I remember giving a death date. They were telling me that I had 18 months to live. Then they told me you have 2 to 3 years to live. Then they said you had 3 to 5 years to live. And then they said, okay, it's going to be 7. So I'm like, 7 years. So I know I have astonished science as well as my doctors. And as Pastor Mullins preached a few weeks ago that the funeral is canceled. So my funeral was canceled. And I'm still here. 9 years later, I have seen all 5 kids graduate from high school, some college. I have a 2-year-old grandson. I have 2 granddaughters on the way. And although that my fight is not finished, I have another oncologist that has just joined my team, which makes it 3 oncologists that I have at this present time. And like I stated, I presently have 4 tumors on my liver. But this new oncologist, he specializes in this type of cancer. that I have. And I believe he's probably the only person that I've ever met with every letter in the alphabet in his name. So I just call him Dr. P. And he's actually from the Dana-Farber Institute in Boston, Massachusetts. So I have to travel back and forth when necessary, and I get treatments between Boston, Dana-Farber Institute, as well as Helen and Harry Grace Center located in Hartford. I am a fighter, and I will continue to fight. I thank God for this assignment that I am on, and I thank you, my Phillips Church family, and my family for your continued prayers. And like I said, I will continue to fight, and I love you all. Thank you.